In this video, I will show you how to register a domain name directly from AWS. We will go through the complete process step by step. We will search for a domain, check whether it is available, review the price, enter the required information, complete the registration, and finally verify that the domain has been registered successfully. Let us get started. First, sign into the AWS Management Console. Enter email address, click Next, enter password and sign in. To register a domain in AWS, we use a service called Route 53. From the search results, open Route 53. We are now inside the Amazon Route 53 console. From the left-hand menu under Domains, select Registered Domains. This page displays the domains whose registration is managed through Route 53. Since we want to register a new domain, click Register Domains. We can now search for the domain name that we want. Enter the domain name here. A domain name consists of the name itself and an extension such as .com, .org, or .net. After entering the domain, click Search. Route 53 now checks whether this domain is available for registration. If the domain is already registered by someone else, we cannot register the same domain. In that case, AWS may display some alternative domain suggestions. We can either choose one of those suggestions or search for another domain. In our case, the domain that we want is available. We have an exact match. Here, AWS also displays the registration price per year and also shows the renewal price per year. Domain registration prices depend on the domain extension. Here in the standard pricing section, you can search for a top-level domain like .com and check the price per year. For .com, it's 16 USD. For .online, it's 28 USD. Always check the actual price displayed here before continuing. Please note that the AWS credits cannot be used to pay for registering a new domain. The domain registration fee will be charged separately to the payment method associated with your AWS account. Before selecting the domain, check the spelling very carefully. This is important because once we register a domain, we cannot simply edit the domain name if we made a spelling mistake. So make sure everything is correct. Now select the domain that we want to register. The selected domain appears in our list. You can select up to 7 domains together in a single checkout. If you want to remove a domain that is added to the list, just click on the Remove button. Since we are registering only one domain in this tutorial, we can continue. Click Proceed to checkout. You may get a window where it shows the selected domain with other extensions. You may select any additional domains you would like to register or click on the Skip button. We are now on the pricing page. Here, AWS allows us to choose how long we want to register the domain. The available registration period can depend on the domain extension. For this tutorial, I am going to keep the registration period shown here. We also have the option for automatic renewal. When auto renew is enabled, Route 53 will attempt to renew the domain before it expires. This is useful if we plan to continue using the domain. However, remember that renewal is also a paid transaction. So if you no longer need the domain in the future, you can turn off automatic renewal before the renewal takes place. For this tutorial, I am going to keep auto renew enabled. Now click Next. AWS now asks us for the contact information associated with the domain. This information identifies the person or organization responsible for the domain registration. First, select the appropriate contact type. Then enter your first name and last name. It is a good idea to use your correct legal name here. Some domain registries may require identity verification for certain changes in the future. If you are registering the domain for an organization, enter the organization information where required. Next, enter your email address and phone number. Make sure the email address is correct and that you can access it. AWS or the domain registrar may send important domain registration messages or verification requests to this email address. Now enter your address information. The address, country, state or province, city, zip or postal code as required. AWS can use the same contact information for the different domain contacts. If you are registering a simple personal domain, using the same information is usually convenient. If you need different contact details, you can change the appropriate option and enter them separately. Now we come to privacy protection. When privacy protection is available, it helps prevent your personal contact information from being publicly exposed through domain registration lookup services. For privacy reasons, I recommend keeping privacy protection enabled where it is available. The exact privacy options can depend on the domain extension. Then click Next. We are now on the Review and Submit page. Before submitting the registration, let us check everything one more time. First, verify the domain name. Again, make sure there are no spelling mistakes. Then check the registration period. Check whether auto-renew is enabled or disabled according to your preference. Then verify the contact information and privacy settings. AWS also displays the applicable terms and conditions. Read the terms and select the checkbox to confirm that you agree to them. Once everything is correct, we can submit the registration request. Click Submit. AWS now starts processing our domain registration. At this point, do not assume that the domain registration is immediately complete. We should check the status of the request. From the left-hand menu, open Domains. Then select Requests. Here, Route 53 displays the domain registration request and its current status. The registration may take some time to complete. Depending on the domain and registrar requirements, AWS may also require us to verify the registrant email address. If email verification is required, AWS will send a verification email to the email address that we entered during registration. Open your email inbox and look for the domain verification message. If you do not see it, also check your spam or junk folder. Open the email and follow the verification link. This confirms that the email address belongs to us. We get a confirmation message that the email verification is successful. After completing the verification, return to the Route 53 requests page. Refresh the page if necessary. AWS should now show the updated status. If the domain is still being processed, we simply need to wait until the registration is complete. Once the registration is complete, return to Registered Domains. And here we can see our newly registered domain. Open the domain. This page contains the registration details for the domain. We can see information such as the domain name, expiration details, auto-renew setting, contact information, and name servers. This confirms that the domain registration is now being managed through Amazon Route 53. We have successfully registered a new domain in AWS. Thank you for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to our channel for more AWS tutorials.